Hey guys, so I'm going to be showing you how I use the MotionV2 tool. Um, I highly recommend getting this. Like, I can't even edit without it now. Um, there is also a MotionV2 guide by the maker from Mountmograph. I will put it in the description. I would highly recommend you watch that as well, because then you can learn how to do all the tools here. I'm just going to teach you the ones that I use usually. Okay, so clicking this here brings up the anchor points square thingy. I use that religiously. I can't edit without it. Like, I really can't. It's a vital point of putting the anchor point where I need it to be. So you see how if you make a square, the anchor point is over to the side here, and that means whenever you scale or rotate, it's going to rotate around the anchor point, and I want it to be in the center. So what I do is click the center one here, and so that just makes everything centered, and it's also easier to align it into the center by doing that. So now it's perfectly in the center. Don't have to move it anywhere. You're all good. It's in the center. And also, if you just a thing about anchor points, if you put it at the bottom, which is this button here, it'll follow wherever the anchor point is. So that's just a tip if you do any motion design stuff. Okay, next most important tool is the Easy Ease and such tool. That's this panel here. It just automatically does the graph editor for you, which for me, I like to have a little more control than what this gives me, but it's perfect if you're just getting started. I definitely still use this to this day, and it's very helpful. I'm going to show you the 3 different speeds. I'm going to duplicate this, Control D. I'm going to put this one here. I'm going to just rearrange this so it's in order. That one there. Okay. I'm going to bring up the scale on all these layers. Put one at the very end, and I'll make the rest 0 at the beginning. Okay. So I'm going to select the first one here, and we're going to start with this bottom one here. It's the Easy Ease Out, I believe. Whatever it is, this is the one I use the most. It just does the fast ramp. You'll see in a second. I'm going to select this next. This one does a different speed. I don't use this too much. I don't really like it. And this is the second one. This is good for when you're zooming and zooming out. You'll see what it does in a second. So those are the 3 speeds. There you go. Okay, now that we have those speeds, I would also like to show you how to do some fast zooms, I guess you could call it, with the Easy Ease tool. I'm just going to get 2 photos. It's kind of... I don't know. These 2. Okay. Oops. So I'm going to set this up as you normally would for zooms. Then we'll start the process. I'm sure you guys already know how to set up your zooms and whatnot. put the scale on the next one. Let me just add some motion tile. Okay, so you see how it looks like this now. Very shitty. This could be fixed easily with this tool here. I'm going to reset everything. Everything isn't resetting, so I think you just have to touch the tool. So for the first one, you're going to do this one, the very top one. And then for the one that zooms in, you're going to do the bottom one. So now you have a zoom like that. Put motion blur on and everything will be dandy. I don't know why I use that word. I really don't know why I use that word. I never used that word in my life. Okay, but yeah, that's how you do an easy zoom. Very easy to do with the MotionV2 tool. Okay. The next one is another favorite. I use that a lot. It's the excite button. Just talking about it gets me excited. Going to move this just a few frames. I'll just lower that a bit. Okay, what you're going to do is highlight the 2 frames, which you do by dragging your mouse. Hit excite, and automatically it makes a huge bounce. And you just got this automatic bounce to your scale without having to do any scripts. It puts the script in for you. My biggest advice for this tool, or this option from the tool, is to make the overshoot 4. That's just what I like to keep it at. If you want it higher or like it how it is, that's fine. But I usually keep it at 4. It just gives it a more subtle bounce. And you see how it does not affect the rotate. It doesn't bounce the rotate is what I'm trying to say. You do have to add it again. Oops. And then you see how the rotate is now added in the bounce. So that is another favorite of mine. That is pretty much all the tools that I use often. I have talked about the rope tool before. I'll show that real quick. We'll create 2 shape layers. We'll put this over here. We're going to select those 2 and select the rope layer. So now they are connected by a rope, which I think is great. You can do a lot of cool effects with that. And just a tip, wherever the anchor point is where the rope is going to go. So if you want the rope to be at the very edge, make sure you choose the edge one. And yeah, that's basically it for this effect, or this tutorial. One more thing, I don't use it ever because I'm fine with duplicating my keyframes, but if you select these 2 keyframes and hit clone, you can just clone it again. And yeah, that's basically it for this tutorial. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and let me know if there's anything you would like to see in the future.